My father thought he was doing right by us, sending me $1,500 a month to cover my expenses while I studied engineering at UCLA. But last week, at 19, I found out he and Mom had been taking out loans in my name tens of thousands of dollars to fund my sister Lauren's lavish lifestyle in Miami, where she's chasing her influencer dreams. I'm Ethan, and I've been scraping by, working late-night shifts at a diner to afford textbooks, while Lauren's posting photos from yacht parties and designer boutiques. When I confronted Dad at Thanksgiving dinner, his face crumpled, and Mom just stared at her plate, unable to meet my eyes. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, in a comfortable suburban home where Dad worked as a civil engineer and Mom managed a small real estate office. They weren't rich, but we never wanted for much private schools, family vacations, a nice car for Mom. I was always the responsible one, getting straight A's, fixing things around the house, never asking for more than I needed. Lauren, 2 years older at 21, was different. She was the dreamer, the one Mom called our little star, always destined for something big. I loved her, but the way Mom and Dad doted on her stung. When I brought home a science fair trophy at 15, Dad patted my shoulder and said, "Good job, Ethan." When Lauren got a C in art class, Mom framed her painting and hung it in the living room. After high school, I moved to Los Angeles 4 months ago to start at UCLA. Engineering was my dream, inspired by Dad's stories of designing bridges that connected cities. My parents covered my tuition, but I was on my own for everything else: rent, food, books. LA's expensive, so I took a job at a diner near campus, working nights and weekends. Between classes, studying, and shifts, I was barely sleeping. My apartment was a cramped studio, and I survived on instant ramen and discounted grocery store sandwiches. I didn't complain. Dad always said hard work built character, but I was exhausted, falling asleep in lectures, my grades slipping. Lauren, meanwhile, moved to Miami after high school, chasing a career as a social media influencer. Her Instagram was a parade of beach photos, designer handbags, and rooftop bars. I didn't know how she afforded it. When I asked Mom during a call in September, she said Lauren was figuring it out and that I should focus on my studies. I envied my friends whose parents sent them care packages or extra cash, but I told myself I was fine. I'd make it work. Then came the letter. It arrived in October, addressed to me from a bank I'd never heard of. It was a notice about a $20,000 loan in my name, with payments overdue. I thought it was a mistake, identity theft. Maybe. I called the bank, my hands shaking, and gave them my social security number. The loan was real, taken out 6 months ago, with my parents listed as co-signers. My stomach dropped. I called Dad immediately. "Ethan, I don't know anything about this," he said, his voice tight. "Let me talk to your mother." He promised to sort it out, but when I called back a week later, he was vague, saying it was handled. I didn't push. I trusted him. By November, I was drowning. My grades were tanking, and I was picking up extra shifts to cover rent. One night at the diner, I dropped a tray of plates, my vision blurring from exhaustion. My boss sent me home, worried I'd collapse. I checked my bank account, $12.37. I texted a friend, Mia, who'd been checking in on me. "I'm fine." I lied. She didn't buy it and showed up at my apartment with a pizza. Over greasy slices, I spilled everything: the loan notice, my parents' evasiveness, Lauren's endless Instagram posts from Miami. Mia frowned. "Ethan, your parents are engineers and realtors. They've got money. How's Lauren affording all that? And what's with this loan?" Her questions stuck with me. I started digging. I checked Lauren's Instagram again. There she was, posing in a Versace dress at a Miami club, captioning it, "Thanks, Mom and Dad, for always having my back. Blessed." I scrolled further: photos from a Bahamas trip, a new Gucci bag, a rented convertible. My chest tightened. I called Lauren, something I rarely did. "Hey, how's Miami?" I asked, keeping my tone light. "Amazing," she gushed. "Mom and Dad just sent me some cash for this influencer summit. Like $2,000 just for the ticket." I felt sick. "They send you money often?" I pressed. "Oh, yeah, like $3,000 a month, plus extra for events. You know how it Iceimage is everything in this business." I hung up, My mind racing. $3,000 a month? Plus extras? I was eating 50-cent noodles while my parents were bankrolling Lauren's influencer career. And the loan, what was it for? I decided to confront them in person. Thanksgiving was coming, and I'd booked a cheap flight back to Phoenix. I could only stay 2 days because of work, but I needed answers. When I arrived, Dad hugged me tightly, his brow furrowing. You're too thin, Ethan. You eating okay? Mom was quieter, her smile forced. Over dinner, roast turkey, mashed potatoes. The works. Dad asked about school. I hesitated, then went for it. Dad, about that loan notice I got. What's going on? And why's Lauren getting thousands a month while I'm working myself to death? The room went silent. Dad's fork froze midair. Mom stared at her plate, her face pale. What loan? Dad asked, his voice sharp. I pulled out the bank notice I'd brought, sliding it across the table. He scanned it, his jaw tightening. Ellen, he said to Mom, explain this. Mom fidgeted, her eyes darting. It's complicated. She started. Lauren needed help to get started in Miami. You know how competitive the influencer world is. She needs to look the part, clothes, events, travel. Dad's face reddened. So you took out a loan in Ethan's name? Without telling me? Without telling him? Mom's voice rose. It was for the family. Lauren's building a brand. She could be huge. Ethan's finesse always been fine. He's like you, David. He doesn't need hand-holding. Couldn't believe it. Fine? I said, my voice shaking. I'm working 40 hours a week on top of school. I can't afford groceries. I almost passed out at work last week. And you're taking out loans in my name to buy Lauren Gucci bags? Dad stood, his chair scraping the floor. Ellen, how much have you borrowed? Mom looked away. Just $20,000. And another $15,000 last month. Dad's eyes widened. $35,000? In Ethan's name? Are you insane? The argument exploded. Dad demanded to see bank statements. Mom admitted she'd been funneling money to Lauren $3,000 a month, plus extras for trips and outfits, totaling nearly $50,000 over the past year. The loans were to cover Lauren's expenses when their savings ran low. Dad was furious. You've been lying to me, to Ethan, putting his future at risk for Lauren's Instagram posts? Mom tried to defend herself. Lauren's special. David. She's got potential. Ethan's practical. He'll figure it out. I felt like I'd been punched. All those years of Mom praising Lauren's spark. Her destiny. While my hard work was just expected. I remembered when I was 12, winning a math competition, and Mom saying, that's nice, Ethan, but Lauren's dance recital is this weekend. Dad always seemed uncomfortable with the favoritism but never challenged it. Now, he was done. This stops now, he said. I'm taking over the finances. Ethan, you're getting $1,500 a month. Starting tomorrow. Lauren's cut off until we sort this out. Mom burst into tears, playing the victim. You're punishing Lauren for chasing her dreams. Dad didn't budge. No, I'm punishing you for lying and stealing from our son. Dinner ended in silence. I retreated to my old bedroom, my head spinning. I could hear my parents arguing downstairs, their voices sharp, then hushed. I lay on my bed, staring at the glow-in-the-dark stars I'd stuck on the ceiling as a kid, thinking about the years of subtle slights. Lauren's new phone for her 16th birthday, while I got a used one, her summer in Europe, while I mowed lawns to save for college. The next morning, Dad knocked on my door. I'm so sorry, Ethan, he said, sitting on my bed. I should have paid attention. I thought your mom was handling things fairly. He looked exhausted, older than his 48 years. I called the bank. We're paying off those loans immediately, and I'm removing your name from them. This won't touch your credit. I nodded, relieved but still angry. What about Lauren? I asked. Dad sighed. I called her last night. She's getting $500 a month from now on. Same as you. She needs to learn to live within her means. Lauren didn't take it well. She called me that afternoon, furious. Why'd you have to ruin everything? She snapped. I need that money to network, to build my brand. I didn't hold back. Lauren, I'm eating 50-cent noodles while you're renting yachts. Mom and Dad took out loans in my name to fund your parties. Do you get how messed up that is? There was a long pause. I didn't know about the loans, she said quietly. Mom said it was fine, that they had it covered. I laughed bitterly. Yeah, with my future. I flew back to LA, my mind a mess. Dad transferred $3,000 to my account to cover the missed allowances. And for the first time in months, I bought real groceries: chicken, vegetables, fruit. I cooked a stir-fry, savoring the taste of something that wasn't instant noodles. I cut my diner shifts to weekends only, keeping my tutoring job because I liked it. With the extra time, I started catching up on schoolwork. My grades crept up, and I even joined an engineering club, making friends who shared my passion for building things. Over the next few months, my family unraveled and rebuilt. Dad took full control of the finances, setting up direct transfers to my account. He and Mom started counseling, but the trust was shattered. Mom admitted her favoritism stemmed from her own unfulfilled dreams of fame, projecting them onto Lauren. Dad wasn't having it. By spring, he moved into a small apartment near his office. The divorce papers came soon after. Lauren struggled with her reduced budget. She ranted on Instagram about haters and tough times. But when Dad held firm, she got a job as a barista in Miami. To my surprise, she started posting about her work, her latte art, her new appreciation for earning her own money. It's humbling, she texted me one night. I didn't realize how much I took for granted. We started talking more, awkward at first, but real. She apologized for not seeing how Mom's favoritism hurt me. I thought it was just how things were, she said. I forgave her. She was as much a victim of Mom's skewed priorities as I was. Mom had the hardest time adjusting. The divorce left her with half the house's value, but she had to sell her real estate business to cover legal fees. She got a job at a property management firm, her first 9-to-5 in years. She called me sometimes, her voice strained, trying to rebuild something. I messed up, Ethan, she said once. I thought I was helping Lauren, but I hurt you both. I didn't know how to respond. The hurt was still raw, but I told her we'd keep talking. A year later, I'm thriving at UCLA. My grades are solid, and I've landed an internship at a local engineering firm. Dad visits every few months, and we talk about projects, math, the future. He's dating a coworker, Sarah, and seems happier than I've seen him in years. Lauren's still in Miami, balancing her barista job with her influencer gigs. She's not famous, but she's got a small, loyal following and a new sense of pride in her hustle. We FaceTime weekly, laughing about old memories, building a bond we never had. Mom's slowly changing. She's in therapy, working through her past. Last month, she sent me a care package: snacks, a UCLA hoodie, a note saying, "I'm proud of you. It's a start. This Thanksgiving, we're trying something new. Dad, Sarah, Lauren, Mom, and me, all at Dad's new place. It'll be weird, maybe tense, but it's honest. No more secrets. No more loans in my name. No more favoritism." Looking back, finding that loan notice was the shock that broke our family open. It hurt, but it forced us to face the truth. We're not perfect, families never are, but we're real now. I'm Ethan, an engineering student, a son, a brother, and for the first time, I feel seen, not just as the responsible one, but as someone worthy of support, love, and a future I'm building for myself.